Welcome back to the Adventure Reignition podcast. Today it's going to be a solo episode about my journey to quit my job, my dream job, and how I was able to pivot and shift so quickly listening to my intuition and just following my guts. And I will explain the process, the context, and my thinking, and also how I was able to do the switch towards what I'm doing now and focusing on this content creation and purpose coaching journey I'm on and I will be on for 2025. So fasten your seatbelts and let's dive into this new episode. I have a few notes to be sure I'm respecting exactly what I want to say with you. I want to do more of those podcasts on the spot, free flow, going in the future. And let's start with that first episode about my journey quitting my dream job this year. To give a bit of context, I was working as a content creator for another company here in Switzerland, a company that I still love a lot, that had a big vision about public transportation that I was and still am aligned with, and definitely one of the best and probably the best company culture I have ever experienced in my life. So it wasn't an easy decision to leave. And I was working on a lot of different creative projects, especially videos there. And at the beginning of 2024, I took the decision also on the side to pursue content creation on the side. So that's why I started to share and publish a lot more content on social medias, especially on Instagram and also LinkedIn, if you saw some of my posts. So yeah, I was on a journey to start creating again for me and for myself, because in 2023, I decided to take a break from content creation on social medias because I just needed a step back and I wanted to get back into that creative mode more and more, but I needed to take a break for the podcast as well, because I was posting once a week between 2021 and 2022. And it was hard. To be honest, it was a lot of work. And the context was at the beginning of 2024, I wanted to get into that game of creating video, telling my stories, sharing my values, my vision, and everything I wanted to create moving forward while being creative at the same time. So I was doing that on the side of my normal job as a content creator for that company. And it started pretty well. I was really excited about the year coming in. I knew that one day I will probably do the shift, but I wasn't sure when. I was more thinking about 2025 or maybe 2026. And during the spring, I started to feel a lot of work coming in on my job, a lot of requests from my colleagues, my boss, but also the whole context of the company to get help to create more videos for the company. And at this point, it was videos that were not really creative. It was more a moment, a season of the company where it was more production kind of work. So I was constantly feeling on the move to jump projects after projects and deliver all the edits, all the videos without putting enough and much energy on the creative side that I wanted to bring on. So I started to slowly move from being proud of the project I was creating and creating kind of like for myself, but also for the company, from like fulfilling others people's expectations. My colleagues needed help. My boss wanted to have some projects done. And also other colleagues of the company wanted me to have some help on video translation, or any kind of like demand. So I was like shifting slowly without noticing from creating things I'm proud of to more like production mode, creating a lot things, but not creatively, but just like to produce the piece of content and slowly fulfilling other people demands. And I started to find myself during the month of June this year, where I had 2 weeks of holidays. And just before that, I was like rushing to finish all my projects before to go on holidays. And I did. I did deliver them. And after 2 weeks of holidays, I came back. I thought that those 2 weeks would be good enough to recharge and feel refreshed, to move forward with summer projects. And the opposite happened. I started to get back in front of my computer, trying to create content and work on concept ideas. And actually the work I was craving the most, which was the creative side. And that's the type of work that I wasn't able to produce anymore. And I was stuck literally in front of my computer, not being able to create the piece of content I wanted to create for the company. And for at least 2 weeks, I felt burnt out and I couldn't do my job as a content creator. So I was doing more like producing like type of content again. And it was a very weird time. Like being a creator, not being able to create. Feeling burnt out, not enough headspace. And I felt like all the intensity of the weeks previous that one were like falling off my head at this moment at the beginning of summer. And I couldn't create. And on the side, I was working already on my self-reflective introspection and adventure coaching program. And part of my curriculum is the reflective work that I want to help my clients do. But as I was creating the curriculum of the course of the program, I was doing it myself for myself at the time. And I was actually experiencing some of the symptoms that my clients are experiencing in their life and career at the moment. I don't know if it was some gift in disguise that I experienced that, but as I was creating the curriculum of the content, experiencing that burned out phase from myself in my creative work, whether it was for my job or for my own content creation, I lost the drive and the energy and the love for what I wanted to create, which is content, telling stories, creating quality content. And from there, I remember there was one video that I recorded while I was cycling. It was a bit like a motivational kind of video that I love to do once in a while. But I was on the bike and I was literally saying, if you have a dream or a dream project or something you want to pursue, go after it, do it. And I have never published that video to this day. Because at this very exact moment, I felt the misalignment between what I was creating and sharing as a content and telling to others and what I was experiencing myself in my current situation, in my current professional and personal situation. And I never published this piece of content because I realized that I needed to realign myself first before to share those kind of contents. And it was kind of like a wake-up call for me to say, okay, pursue your own thing. So as I was doing the curriculum, I realigned myself. I did the exercises. I also had 2 more weeks on holidays at the end of August, and I could feel the burnout in my head, like just like growing. And also I was supposed to do a lot of different projects that was really challenging for me to do. And I took those 2 weeks of holidays at the end of August 2024 to slow down, to apply what I teach, which is slowing down for one reason, so that you can hear your intuition again. Because when you're in constant move, you are constantly working, doing things, moving, distracting yourself, and you don't let the mind having enough space to think, process the information, and just wonder. And that's something I loved when I was traveling the world, because I had those bus rides that would be 10, 14, sometimes 20 hours of bus rides where I just let my mind wander. And those moments are critical, and I realized that this summer, for my own creativity. So those holidays back in Spain to my girlfriend's grandmother place was a moment to really let go of everything. Just enjoying the sea, the waves, nature, and time living slow. And I know by experience, because I did it many times with my travels, with my adventures, that's exactly in those moments that I could start to hear my intuition talk to me again. And my intuition, with the combination of the introspection and the exercises I redid for myself from my coaching program, helped me realign to what I wanted to do, live adventurously, in alignment, and also with that sense of creativity I'm craving. So those 3 values that's been part of me for 2024, I felt I was away from them. And reconnected to them, listening to my intuition and thinking how I can quit my job to escape from that situation was possible due to that moment where I was slowing down and reflecting on what I wanted to do next and what would be my next move. So after the end of my 2 weeks of holidays, came back home, and for me it was clear. And I felt the same way almost 9 years ago when I was finishing my studies and decided to quit my job, pack my stuff, and go travel the world for a year alone. I was a bit scared, but at the same time excited because I knew it was my guts talking to me. And that's what I did, and I will never regret that. It was the same last year when I decided to go for that 3 weeks trip around Switzerland with my bike, visiting 26 regions of Switzerland. I felt scared, not sure if it was the right move, but I decided to commit, and it was amazing. And that specific moment of my life was a moment where it was similar to previous adventures I'd lived in the past. And I wanted to apply those adventures framework to my career right now. And despite having the dream job, being able to work remotely when I'm not filming, having a very good company culture, great team, great colleagues, and also like great company. I really believe in the company still to this day. But I needed, and I knew that I needed to make a shift, a move for myself. That was the most important thing to do. And after the 2 weeks, came back and I thought, okay, maybe it's the right time. Maybe now is the right time to quit my job, to pursue content creation and purpose coaching for myself. First, because I don't have kids for the moment yet. So I felt like the stars were aligned to do that move now. Money-wise, I knew I could, in Switzerland, use my retirement plan to finance that at least a bit until the end of 2025. So it would give me basically 14 months-ish to make the transition. And I sorted out financially also. It's very important to know exactly how much money your lifestyle costs. So I figured out, even if I knew roughly already, because I'm really precise with those things. Maybe I should do a podcast about money management also. So I sorted out my finances, knowing that I roughly need between, I don't know, 25 to 3,500 Swiss francs a month to make a living. And I knew that I would have, with all my savings and all the retirement plan I had, that it would roughly give me a bit more than a year to make it work. And I know deep inside that first, that's not an easy move to do. First, before to get more precise into this, I don't think you should quit your job on emotions. You really should do the introspection, to slow down, and to figure out your finances first before to do any move. I don't have kids, so I don't have too much responsibilities at the moment, and I can easily do the move. If I would have kids, I would think twice before to do this. If I had a very expensive lifestyle, I would figure things out, my expenses. So I did it responsibly, not impulsively. And I was able to do it quickly because I know the drill. I know the introspection, the self-discovery part of the things. And that's exactly what I teach to you and my clients. That's why. And because I learned to know myself through adventure, through adventure's framework, that's why I was able to move so quickly. So once I figured out my finances and I kind of like did the life check to see where I was in my life and career journey. And my guts were telling me that it was a go, try it. And I love to apply this adventure spirit and mindset to take bold moves for myself. I know it's not for everybody. I'm sure you need to figure things out first before to do any bold move like that. And that's, a disclaimer I want to give you. But for me, I love to live adventurously. I love to live without regrets. I love to live and feeling alive. So that's how I take decisions like that. So I came back from my holidays. I knew it was the right move, even if it was scary. I gave my letter of resignation, and then I went through a period of transition where I started to prepare for what's coming next. Also hired a coach to help me go through this because I didn't want to go like wandering around, not knowing exactly what I was doing. So I hired a business coach to help me through the transition. And it's been now a month that I am on my own doing content creation and starting to do again purpose coaching. And I'm excited. If I look back 6 months ago, I was really dreading mornings. I didn't have the energy to wake up. I felt burnt out. I felt like I was going a bit through motion, and I knew that something had to change. And through the introspection that I did and I was able to create for my personal program, it reconnected me to this sense of alignment, finding meaning in what I was doing. And I knew, slowing down and listening to my guts, that doing that now was the right move. And most people will ask me, or already ask me, what if you fail? And I rather take the chances in my life and fail than wondering 30 years from now, what if I should have done the move? So I know it's not everybody thinks this way, but for me, it's important to take the chances. And now felt the right moment, the right opportunity. I could hear my intuition and my guts telling me to go, take the chance. And I'm pretty confident that if I keep publishing at least 5 days a week, plus doing podcasts as well, creating content, bringing value, and also testing a lot of different things, that something would happen in the next year. And I started to improve my coaching program, and I love the idea to have time in front of me. And I really feel the same way than almost 9 years ago when I quit my job and traveled the world for a year. And for me, this year is a year of adventure, a year of prioritizing my mental and physical health while doing this at the same time without burning myself out again. And pursue my dream content creation job I always wanted to do. And if you've been following me for a while, you know by now that I just love to tell stories, to create content around my passions, values, interests. And that makes me feel fulfilled and doing something meaningful, especially if I can inspire or help people along the way. So that's where I am right now. And I'm pretty stoked, to be honest, to be working on my own at the moment and improving every day, talking in front of camera, creating content, helping others. And if I failed in 12 months from now, what's the worst thing that can happen? I just get back to a normal job. But along the way, along the journey that will be 2025, I'm sure I will develop a lot of valuable skills, knowledge, and anything that will serve me in the future of my life and career. And for me, it's really important to create a life and a career you love because they go together. And that's how I can stay healthy in my mind while also taking care of my mental and physical health. So now my days, to give you a bit of a hint, I'm still like testing a lot of different things, but I like to wake up between 7 and 9. I have a small routine that changes every day. So it's either cold exposure with my cold bath, breathing techniques, meditation, running, and sometimes I go straight to work. So I don't have like a specific routine, but that makes me feel good. I'm still testing. And after that, I get to work around, I don't know, I do a good session of 4 or 5 hours of work. And I try to take a break the afternoon, usually because I don't work well first, and also because I want to spend time outside. So I either go for a run, a bike ride, a hike, or sometimes just a walk. And yeah, refresh, have a refreshing mind. And then the night I try to do another session of work. Usually it's like either creating content, think about ideas, editing content, and having conversation on social media to see how I can bring value and help people with helping them find their own path. So yeah, it's an exciting part of my life at the moment. And why I'm doing this is because since I lost my dad to suicide almost 15 years ago now, I have this constant desire to make life worth living. And I think it comes to exactly what happened. My dad just like ended his own life, didn't want to live anymore. And my mission is kind of like through his experience, through what it taught me about everything that happened, make life worth living for me and then from others. And helping you with finding your own career path, a job you love, you're passionate about, even if it's not easy every day. I can tell you that now. Will bring so much energy, so much passion, and so much great in your life that combining something you love with taking care of yourself and live your adventurous life with going outside, spending time in nature, those combination is something that I'm sure will make a great life. And maybe it's different for you, but that's the kind of life I want to live moving forward. So that's it for today's episode. I want to thank you for still being here to the end of this episode. If you want to see how I can help you with finding your own path, bringing more adventure into your life, just DM me podcast, and I'll be very happy to have a conversation with you on social media. So you can share podcasts either on LinkedIn or Instagram, and I'll be really happy to start a conversation, see how I can help you, if we can work together. And yeah, let's prepare 2025 and plan your escape to create something exciting for you. Thank you again, and have a great day, everyone. Bye.